So this is the X9 by VICTRIP e-bikes, and this is the newest, latest, and greatest mini bike for kids to learn how to do their dirt biking on. So today we're going to unbox it, give you guys our first impressions on what this guy looks like, how it's assembled, the quality of it, and then we're going to do some test rides, so stay tuned. Cool thing about this bike is that it does up to 21 miles per hour. Let's see what you get inside. Right out of the bat, it looks like we're met with decals for the outside. Next, it looks like we got our owner's manual here. Charging box here. Go ahead and set these guys down here. Got some padding for packaging. Throw these off to the side. All right. Looks like carbon fiber on this bad boy. Whoa, this is looking sweet already. We'll go ahead and cut the box. Bring you guys in closer for a look on this. Really loving the blue on these front forks. Beautiful carbon fiber all the way around. It's a shame that we're going to be covering that up with stickers, but I guess there's the option if you don't want to put the decals and stickers on this guy, you can just leave it naked like this because it looks awesome. I think that's super cool that they did that. Do the satisfying peel. So it looks like we're going to have to install our pegs, get the front wheel on, and then we'll go ahead and tackle these handlebars. Start with getting this front tire out of here. Oh man, this is a good sized tire too. See if we can get the rest of this bubble wrap out of here. Looks like we got some front fender action hiding in the bubble wrap. Get that set aside. Now that we got the bubble wrap pulled away, it looks like we got our main rear shock here. We're gonna have to get that bolt installed in there. It's pretty cool. They got the back tire like locked into this giant piece of foam. That's pretty nice. Looks like we got a front number plate. Go ahead and set that down next to the fender. Got the basics to get us up and running. Got our keys zip tied to the front forks. Looks like we got our pegs here. Finally got the rest of this bike away from the box. So far we have our decals laid out, our front wheel, front fender, front number plate, pegs, clamps for the handlebars, and our toolkit to get started. Next, let's go ahead and get our handlebars mounted to this guy. First, we'll go ahead and unscrew the large nut off the bottom. Go ahead and drop it in there like so. We just want to get these started, so we're not going to tighten it all the way. Same with the second one. Pop it on. This is what we're working with inside. We'll loosen up these Allen bolts and get these clamps opened up. We can then get our handlebars up and out. We'll rotate them around to front and center, and we'll simply drop them into place. Go ahead and get our clamps fastened back on top. These are screwing in nice and easily. 11/16. Once you get the two big bolts underneath tightened up a little bit, you can go ahead and start tightening up these Allen bolts for the clamps. Handlebars are on. Now let's go ahead and hit this front wheel. It looks like our front brake is going to be going on the left side of the bike. So let's go ahead and put our disc on the left side as well. This is where it gets a little challenging because you're doing it by yourself. Rest the forks on the ground there like so. Got a metal spacer on the right side and a slightly bigger spacer on the left. Once the bike is on its side like so, this will allow us to get this tire in here very easily. Key note is you want to make sure inside there that that spacer that moves around is lined up. So we'll give it a couple shakes and taps. Once it's in the correct position, carefully get the wheel into position, push it through about there. Go ahead and take the slightly smaller spacer, put it on the edge there, rotate it into place, and you can start screwing your axle bolt through like so. And we'll go ahead and take our nut and fasten it on here. We'll take the 14 millimeter end, put it on the left side of the axle nut here, and we can come in and start tightening with our 11/16 socket. We'll close up the gaps and get this nice and snug. Just like so. Perfect. You can see our little brake caliper here has these 2 Allen bolts. We'll go ahead and loosen these out. With the 2 Allen bolts removed, you'll be able to take the caliper and slide it up and onto the rotor, just like so. You can then take your Allen bolts and start working them through and go ahead and tighten these up. I think it's time for us to grab the front fender and number plate. We'll start off with the fender. That way we can easily access the screws. Under the triple tree, you'll find these 2 little Allen bolts that are already in position. So we'll go ahead and loosen those up. Now we'll take the fender and the first bolt and we'll work it in on the left side of the bike. Got both of those in there. It's nice and secure. Let's go ahead and slap on our front plate here. As you can see, we have an extension here and here. We'll go ahead and slide the number plate in front, but first let's go ahead and pull this mounting bolt. Hard to see it, but we'll go ahead and line these up. Make sure your cables are just on the side of this, and also get that front brake cable running in between the number plate and going down to that caliper. Before you can get that screw in there, you do have to push pretty good down on that front number plate to get it into position, and then you can snug it up. And now we'll go ahead and get in here and tackle this rear monoshock. You can see we've got our bolt in place already. Now we can lift up on this, pull that out, yank off the plastic, put our shock in position. Also, I'll pop out the kickstand at this point. And now we can come in and tighten up this little nut. Get that nut fastened on there. She's coming together. It's looking good. Look at that thing. Now all we have left is to get these pegs in place. So you want to take your clip, place it right about there, and then you want to come in underneath. It's a bit of a challenge, but you want to get that pin halfway in and then sneak in the spring, but that allows these to come up and down. To go ahead and finish it up, get our spacer, aka washer. Then we can sneak in our cotter pin. Be sure to rotate it around on both sides, just like that. Should be locked in and ready to go. Temporarily, I'm going to put these decals off to the side. Set these here amongst all the other stuff. Time for that satisfying peel. Oh, let's ditch the bubbles. In with the new. I love that VICTRIP gives you the option to choose between putting the decals on or just giving this naked look a go, which, I mean, I think that carbon fiber just looks wicked cool. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people might prefer to just leave just how it is, because this thing looks awesome. So you do get 2 different keys to operate the bike. One is for the power setting, whether you want to keep it at level 1, level 2, or level 3. And then you have this bigger key here, which is your primary ignition switch. And that's going to power on the bike and let you start ripping. But before we drive this thing and get it powered up for our kid, we're going to go ahead and get this thing charging for a few hours. Let's get it in the garage here. Coming around to the right side of the bike, you'll find the charging port right here. Go ahead and open up our box. Got a little info and our charger. Looks like a pretty good sized brick. Get some power supply ran to our bike. Next, we'll notice there's a green LED light on the charging brick, and you got plenty of slack in the cord. You can see right here there's this little notch indentation there. Make sure you match that up on the edge of your inlet, and that way you can slide it on just like so. Make sure it gets all the way in there until it stops. Now we can see our LED has changed to a red color, so we're going to go ahead and leave this guy here for a few hours and let it charge. Several hours later, we get the green LED. It's time to go ahead and unplug this bad boy. Put our cover back on. Well, it is finally time for us to take this bad boy for a test ride. But before we get out there, let's go ahead and toss VICTRIP's decal on the side. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to VICTRIP e-bikes. They are proudly the sponsor of today's video. If you guys are interested in one of these Bad Bamba Jambas, I'll go ahead and drop the information down in the description. All right, you ready to ride?
Yep.
All right, well, let's test it out. You get 3 different speed options. So you have third, which is the fastest. That'll do 21 miles an hour. 2, which is going to give you about a 15 mile per hour speed. And then number 1, which tops out around 7 to 8 miles per hour. Up here, we have our primary ignition switch. and it's kind of hard to see it on the camera, but this is it's nice and solid on our end. It's showing the odometer on the bottom in the green. We'll track the mileage and the voltage, and then also you're going to get your speed indicator on the top here. So pretty nifty. I think you're ready for level 2 just because you're an experienced rider. So go ahead and give it a shot, buddy. Safety first. Take it around a few more times. You can drive it on the edge of the street right next to the sidewalk.
It does feel like 50 miles per hour.
How's it feel? How about the levers, the brakes? Can you reach them okay with your fingers?
Honestly, I really like the grip. I like the grip. It's like super good.
Don't do that. What do you think? How does it feel in the grass? Driving around, does it feel torquey? And I'm gonna go ahead and lock you in at speed number 2 because I don't want you to crank it up and go faster. But what do you think so far? Give me your thoughts.
I love it.
You feel like the shocks do a good job?
Yeah, I like them.
Well, good. They sure do look sweet. I like these front blue forks. Those look awesome. 3. Dang, that thing is quick. What do you think?
I love gear 2. It's really good.
Yeah, it looks like it's plenty fast.
Yeah, I was gonna hit that ramp over there.
You're gonna hit that ramp?
Yeah. On the smooth sidewalk, it's really good. Can we go to gear 3 now?
All right, I'll switch it to gear 3, but I need you to be extra cautious. Now, gear 3 is gonna go 21 miles per hour, so you be careful, okay?
Okay.
Okay, take it slow. We'll put it back in number 2 and see if you notice the difference, if it loses power at all. Now it feels slow?
Yeah, gear 3's better.
All right, well, crank it up to 3 again. All right, be careful. Brakes work pretty good.
Okay. What if I do double? Like immediately?
Double brakes at the same time is usually the best method if you're looking to stop as quickly as possible.
I felt like the wind is loose.
You were getting some air on the sidewalk going up in between. VICTRIP. What did you think, bud?
Honestly, I loved it. I love the speed. Honestly, my favorite gear was gear 3.
And wrapping up the video, we have to test it out ourselves and hop on this Mamba Jamba. How fast can we get it to go? And sure enough, we were able to get up to 20 miles per hour on this electric e-bike. Super cool, inexpensive option when you compare it across the board. There's a lot of different options online these days for an electric dirt bike. And I have to say, this one went beyond my expectations. Super excited to have it in the garage. Very thankful once again to VICTRIP e-bikes for sending it out to us. You can save $50 on the sale of one of these. They're originally $5.99, but you can snag one for $5.50 right now using our promo code FFG50. Be sure to save Check out our next video, and we appreciate y'all watching.